Okay.
So I'll let you know when.
Yeah.
So, it actually saves your last village as your splash screen. Like, I think that's really cool.
I do too.
You know,
Oh,
first
wow,
first time I looked at it, I'm like, what is this
that's mine.
terribly designed village? And I'm like, it's mine.
Oops.
And then the shame just overwhelmed me. Are we good?
Are you working on sound?
Okay. I don't need headphones. So, it actually saves your last village. Can you just pull it up there as your splash? That way I can also see chat. You know, first time I looked at it, I'm like, alright, what is this terribly designed village? It's mine.
Oops.
And then the shame just overwhelmed me. Banished. Are we good? Okay.
Banished.
So I'm gonna start over brand new.
Can you just pull it up there?
And random map seeds. Believe the tame. Frumberlings. How do you feel about Frumberlings?
I like Frumberlings.
They keep it valleys, just a little bit easier. More to work with, you know, especially demoing out with this game pass. Banished.
Okay.
I'll do terrain size. I'm gonna start over climate fair and disasters off. Starting conditions medium. And this just gives us a little more predictability. Like,
So what doesn't happen in disaster?
Frumberlings.
What happens in
How do you feel about
disaster?
Frumberlings? Fires, tornadoes. Generally, shit gets bad.
This default on, right?
It's default on. We can turn it
I've never had
on,
one.
but we might have rain size. You know, things happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and do medium. And the main difference between medium, hard, and easy is the resources you're starting with, the number of people, fires, tornadoes. Just being able to have some C's right off the bat. We're not gonna have to like spend 30 minutes kind of getting industry up just to get the first C. It's default on, so it does make it a bit easier. But we might have rain size. You know, things happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and do medium, and the main difference is you can kind of see like all the buildings, like they have like social construction animations here, so you can see like market, town hall. And the town hall gives you like stats for really managing your year-over-year graph and like see where your town's doing. Now I think a lot of people who like EVE Online might like Banished just because there's a lot of like spreadsheets. There's a lot of data. So the first thing I did here is I'm pausing the game, and that's just kind of getting everything set up. Your bars here on the right, they all correspond to like F1, F2, and F3. You just kind of toggle through it. So the first thing I want to do is get my general information up here for Frumberlings. Now I think a lot of people who like EVE Online, and it just shows, you know, here's my starting resources. It's a lot on medium, it's 120 logs, stones, 40 iron, 200 firewood, 1,800 food. That's pretty decent. That'll take us through the first year. And we've got a couple others. There's an event log. I don't usually update it, but I'll just leave it out. My general information. Spring real estate here. You can kind of see people getting more and things like that. And I leave it in professionals. I'm pretty much always juggling medium and professionals. So yeah, I'm going to put up the mini map. And that's pretty much dead on the river. This is the main trading route, so the trading post. We got the first one right here. And this little space, not a lot to work with. But you know, clearly expanding it down this way, like we got pretty much always juggling. So this actually might be good for kind of like the first little gathering slash. And that's pretty much dead on the river. Now I've got jobs. Most people don't start off with. They all start off as labor. Road tool, storage buildings. Now what's different about Banished is that there's no like tree or something to unlock the roads. You pretty much get everything right off the bat. Now that's actually not a lot of space.
So you're building your force or battle?
Well, I'm placing it so I know where how I can kind of set up my point.
So you're gonna place it and pause it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go like that. So this is a good spot, right? And you can lay down your buildings and plan for how you want to build out your community without actually building out. It's a lot easier for the visual see. So we're building where these buildings are. So right off the bat, I'm placing it next thing we're going to do is food production. So while we have 18 population, because this is through the first year without any starvation. So I'm going to go with the gather stuff. It's pretty reliable. It takes the resources that pretty much immediately starts producing food.
As long as you don't do forest area.
Yeah, so alright, so I'm going to build some roads here. And some people kind of skip building roads right off the bat. I like to have them just my first area. You know, that's your first as you kind of get going. So it's pretty reliable. Let's just speed up my travel resources. And then you can hold shift pretty much immediately. So it'll make the roads diagonal. Just kind of optimize a little bit. Let's go too early. So you've got this remove roads. You kind of skip building roads. So you can remove, you know, anything that hasn't been built yet right away. That's your first addition.
And they will take the shortest path. They'll actually avoid that road if it's not on the shortest path.
Yeah, but they do move faster on roads, and it takes that into account for doing shortest path. So let's see. So this is our area of influence. This yellow circle is so since we want this as heavily forested, it's our main wood production. And then we've got our food right next to it.
And they
We don't really want to build any
They'll actually
buildings
avoid
inside
that
of
road.
it. Yeah, but let's put the first set of houses just right outside. They do move faster on roads, and it takes that into account. 3 houses, and I've got 16 people up here, so we know we're going to want. So this is our area of influence. This yellow circle is this going over to builders, heavily forested. Yeah, we should have all the resources to kind of get these guys going. So all these guys, the first thing they're going to do is go to this right now. Faster after that. We have status icons on top of all the characters here.
Super loud.
The game noise was super loud.
Gotcha. Alright, so first set of houses, they're going to flush out this road, and then they're going to start taking stuff out of the stockpile and building these houses. So we can actually speed this up a little more. I like to have a couple buildings kind of just queued up, just so you can just unpause them and they'll work on to the next thing. And then the other thing is you've got a lot of resources here, and we actually want to turn all this into forest. So you've got the remove resource tool, and there's the first one, which is like remove all resources. We don't want to do that because we don't want to remove the trees out of this area. We want them to grow out. But what we can do is we can tell our laborers to kind of remove the stone, and you know that'll be one less thing the forester has to do to put the tree down. And we're gonna want those at some point anyways. We're going to blow through the supply of logs almost immediately just to kind of get these buildings up. So I'm going to queue up right here to remove some trees over here. We know we don't need them. They're out of the area of influence for the forester. So we'll just get rid of that. So we've got 1 house, 2 house. They've got to clear out any trees or resources in the area before they start building. And you can see here that once all the materials are placed, we have a little foundation icon. That's ready for the builder to come through and, you know, do his thing. Let's see here. So, looking at the population, you know, they haven't started making kids. Good news. We're not quite ready for an influx. So, the age here, they age 5 years every 1 in-game year. Okay. So, this time next year in spring, Alexandria will be ready for a house and to start making babies.
At 10.
At 10. At 10,
okay.
like the game has a bit of selective realism. I feel like there were some things that were balanced after all the mechanics were put in. So things like age don't correspond directly to year, and that's not really that well documented. But you know, you just keep an idea that when these children hit around the age of 10, you're ready for some more houses. So we're actually short 1 house here. go ahead and pause it and run through. You get these notifications, so the reserve of firewood is low. And what happens is when they build a house, they're going to go ahead and try and fill it up and just get it stocked. So these houses, they have firewood, but we don't have any for the next house.
How much firewood do they burn in a season, typically, like a winter?
Does
it depend on the cold, the temperature?
I'm not sure. I think it does depend a bit on the temperature. It affects their cold. So you have like current weather and temperature here. Like right now it's raining, but it's pretty warm, 68. That's doable. But you can upgrade these houses to stone houses or build stone houses off the bat, and that'll reduce your firewood usage. And we actually want to have a surplus of firewood because it's the easiest thing to trade right off the bat. You know, you have forest as the first renewable resource you have access to. Now over here we have a gatherer's hut. And you get this little like question mark icon. And what this icon says is it just needs workers. We don't have any assigned. So everyone's a laborer
Looks
right
like
now.
you got some people homeless too.
Yeah, I need one more house. So I just plopped this guy down
Okay.
here. So I'm going to knock back on the number of builders. Go ahead and assign some gatherers. Start getting some food in. They're going to build this house, and what I'm going to need almost immediately, since I'm out, is a woodcutter. So let's check this area out.
So my understanding is like in a good forest, a
Oh, hold on. Go ahead, Brian.
in a good forest, a gatherer can gather right around 3,000 food in a season.
I'm not sure on the exact numbers.
So my understanding is like in a good
You
forest.
know, they do produce a lot of food compared to other starting conditions, and the
Okay.
nice thing about starting on medium here is
Was there an advertisement in the background?
the nice part about starting on medium is you do start with seeds, so that makes it a little easier to kind of snowball and
Yeah.
get some food in there. We'll see what the gather production is. So in each one of these production buildings, you've got these little status icons, and you can do a show high to the production. We just assign some people here, so we don't have that. So we'll see what happens. Go ahead and unpause.
You can press spacebar to do this.
Oh, good call. So you can put a spacebar to pause, unpause. Did not know that. Well, I was doing it the old way, the manual way.
The manual way.
So they'll turn out. So this game, you can not only can you have access to all buildings right off the bat.
So you're gonna build a trading post like this early?
I'm gonna pause it, but I know I want it right there.
Okay.
Now you can pause it; they won't work on it. So you've got a couple buildings queued up.
Yeah.
You know, after they're done with this woodcutter, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this Forester's Lodge. Now the main difference is with roads, they build them right away, so you can't really stage those. So that's unfortunate. If you're planning a town out, you might want to lay down, 5, 10, 20 buildings, and say this is how I want this area to kind of flush out. But you need kind of roads to kind of guide out, make sure everything's going to fall in line. And that's just not being able to pause that. I'm not sure how they'd introduce pausing individual segments, but that is the main difference. But sometimes annoying. So I've got a market here. Ooh. See, more planning all over. But that's fine. I can drop it right here, right next to it.
Every town's gonna go that way anyway. It kind of has to because your foresters bounding you in the other direction.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of space here, so I'm actually going to probably go along the river here. And what that's going to let me do is I can drop 6 trading ports right here along the river.
Fishing seems to produce a pretty good bit of food too.
It does, and for a rule of thumb, you're going to always want trading posts. So if you can't fit a trading post, oops. This is an awkward spot for it, there's just no way. And then you can just drop a fishing dock right next to it and help fill up that space. But the priority should always be the trading post.
So you're saying that along the river there, you're gonna put as many trading posts as you can get?
Oh yeah.
Is that really gonna be necessary to?
Well, you have traders come once a year, and they kind of have random supplies what they bring in.
So the more you have, the more likely you are to
So
get
the more
what you
you're
want.
distributed, if a trader comes in bringing seeds, and you have one
Gotcha.
trading post, like you might not trade that year.